Good evening, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about nurturing relationships. So, today I'm going to talk about nurturing relationships. I'm going to read this book. It is called The Art of Caring and Sharing Nurturing Relationships, and it is written by Swami Nikhileshwarananda. And this book is published by Sri Ramakrishna Mutt, Mylapore, Chennai. Let me go through it. Okay. So, first, here we come. Publisher's note: in today's materialistic world, people of all age, from a 5-year-old child to a senior citizen, are all restless, tense, and in search of peace. Some of the common questions that are being raised by the people are how to manage stress. How do I balance life? What are the methods of mind management? To answer these important questions, Swami Nikhileshwarananda, a senior monk of the Ramakrishna order and the head of Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda Memorial, Vadodara, India, delivered a series of popular lectures on happiness and peace in everyday life, nurturing relationships, etc., at AMA, Ahmedabad Management Association, in August 2003. In these lectures, the Swami, using his vast experience, has provided several practical and simple examples from our daily life to drive home the ways to achieve happiness. We have the pleasure of bringing out the topic of his lecture, Nurturing Relationships, the Art of Caring and Sharing, as a book in the current form. We hope that the readers will find this publication useful in their practical life. Written by Sri Ramakrishna Mutt, Chennai, 4th August 2013. I mean, this preface, publisher's note, I'm sorry. Publisher's note is written by Sri Ramakrishna Mutt, Chennai, 4th August 2013. Now, nurturing relationships, the art of caring and sharing. First chapter. As monks, we are supposed to be beyond all relationships. Yet I have been selected as a speaker for this beautiful topic, maybe because, as Sri Ramakrishna said, an onlooker or bystander watching two chess players understands the game better since he has an objective view of both sides. As monks, we have an objective view of relationships as we are approached for counseling by both sides, husband and wife, children and parents, daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, separately, projecting their own viewpoints about their relationships. So, as monks, we get an inside perspective or objective view of various kinds of relationships, and perhaps that is the reason why I have been selected as the speaker on this vast subject of nurturing relationships. I'm thankful to AMA for giving me this opportunity. It is always a pleasure to talk to the enlightened audience of AMA. AMA is AMA is Ahmedabad Management Association. Okay. So this lecture was delivered on 29th of August 2003 at Ahmedabad Management Association. Okay, so here we go. There are many types of relationships: husband and wife, parents and children, teacher and student, laborer and employer, trade union and management, supervisor and manager, etc. Each relationship requires separate and elaborate treatment which is not possible to do in a single talk. So, I will try to give a comprehensive package common to all types of relationships based on my experience of counseling during last many years. Here, my refers to Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji of the Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt Order. Okay. Any community or society can be divided into three groups. The first group wants three P's: profit in their business transactions and deals, pleasure in their daily activities and pursuits, and popularity amongst relatives and friends. For this group, IQ or intelligence quotient alone is sufficient. The second group wants genuine and long-lasting relationship and peace of mind. They want three H's. What are the three H's? They are happiness in life, harmony in life, no, happiness in life, harmony in family, corporate and society life, and health, both physical and mental, to achieve the other two H's. Once again, let me repeat this. So, the second group wants genuine and long-lasting relationship and peace of mind. They want three H's. What are they? First is happiness in life. Second is harmony in family, corporate, and society life. Third is health, both physical and mental, to achieve the other two H's. This group requires EQ or emotional quotient in addition to IQ. The third group wants not only happiness, harmony, and health, but also everlasting relationship with infinite happiness, joy, and peace. Because human beings cannot remain contented with finite happiness, joy, and peace. This group requires not only IQ and EQ, but also SQ or spiritual quotient as well. I will deal with all the three groups and give a comprehensive package applicable to all the three groups. So here we have a solution which is given as a comprehensive package applicable to all the three groups. Let's see what it is. I can conveniently bypass the first group since a large number of books are now flooding the market, including the classic book of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and books like How to Manage the Boss, etc., which you might have already read. A supervisor once asked me during a training program that I was conducting as part of a seminar in an industrial house, how to manage the boss. And I jokingly said, please keep a little bit of Amul butter with you and offer it now and then to the boss. You know, everyone likes buttering and flattering. There are so many such tactics to win over your boss, your husband, or your wife that are described in these books. But if we want to build genuine relationships, we will need to work hard. An attitude of sacrifice and unselfish service is necessary, as nurturing relationship is like nurturing a plant or a sapling whose requirements are as below. First, soil. For a sapling or sapling to take roots and grow, the first requirement is proper soil condition. In the same way, for cultivating and nurturing any relationship, the person should have some basic goodness within him or her. Second, fencing the relationship. For the sapling to grow, fencing or a guard is required for protection. Otherwise, cows and goats may come and eat away the plant. But this fencing is necessary only till the plant grows to a certain height, till it becomes strong and is safe from cows and goats. So also in relationships, it requires protection of discipline and etiquette and manners only in the initial stage. And that is why parents are called guardians of their children. But after that initial stage, the guard needs to be removed, as otherwise the growing plant will break the guard and free itself. In the same way, parental guarding needs to be relaxed when the child becomes an adolescent. Trouble starts when guardians want to guard their children even after they have grown up. Khalil Gibran rightly said that the children are a gift of God whose temporary custodians or guards are the parents are only till such time they are not able to look after themselves. If the guardianship and control persist beyond that period, the relationship soars, suffocating the child and affecting development of personality of the child. Once a girl told me that her problem was that her mother was so much attached to her that she felt suffocated. She was not even permitted to go out of the city for higher education. Third point, fresh air and sunlight. These are necessary for the healthy growth and development of a child, just as in case of a plant. At this stage, guardians should definitely be concerned about the growth and welfare of their children. To ensure this, they have to do some disciplining by laying down certain rules and regulations, and do's and don'ts, and counsel their children till they are old enough to know what is right or wrong and good or bad for them. After that, it should be an informal relationship between parents and children and never a formal one. Other types of relationships also require certain amount of fresh air of freedom for both the parties and lessening of formalities as relationship goes on developing. Fourth, manure or fertilizer. Just as organic manure or fertilizer is necessary for the healthy growth of a plant, so is the case with a growing relationship. The manure in this case are various virtues such as humility, humble service attitude, care, etc. Even in a relationship with the staff, like a maid servant or a driver, this assumes significance. The concept of servant leadership, popularized by Robert Greenleaf, has been successfully followed by the great leaders of our nation for the last 5,000 years. The latest example being that of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who got the inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was invited by us in February 2002 to inaugurate a school building in Porbandar. He was not yet president then, but Bharat Ratna he already was. I found him full of humility. He was very polite with the servant who served him lunch. He meditated deeply in the room where Swami Vivekananda had stayed for 4 months while in Porbandar. Acha. So he meditated deeply. Who is he? He means Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Hmm. Meditated deeply in the room where Swami Vivekananda had stayed for 4 months while in Porbandar. In his speech to the students that day, he disclosed what inspired him as a student. In 1947, he was in 8th standard and was the monitor of his school. On 14th August midnight, all the students were told to keep themselves awake to listen to the Independence Day speeches, which which he did. The next day, in the newspapers, he saw two photographs. The first was showing Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru hoisting the national flag on Red Fort. Next to it was the photograph of Gandhiji, who was moving around in Kolkata wiping the tears of the people affected by riots. Dr. Kalam said that the second photograph was his school education, his college education, and his life education. He was very much impressed. He was very much impressed by the spirit of sacrifice of Gandhiji, who led the freedom movement and yet did not accept any position after independence, but went on serving the afflicted. After 3 months of his visit to Porbandar, Dr. Kalam was nominated as the President of India. His message then was, "The nation is above the individual." In my first meeting with him after he became the president, I found him still so humble and unassuming. When I handed over a packet of cashew nuts, a packet of books of Swami Vivekananda, a VCD based on his speech at Porbandar, and audio cassette, Aratikam in Kathamrita Part 4, he exclaimed, "Oh Swamiji, you have brought so many things." I said, "What can I bring for you? I am a beggar, a fakir from Sudamapuri, Porbandar. What can I offer to an emperor?" He smiled and said, "Swamiji, we both are servants of same emperor. This indeed is true humility and simplicity, and no wonder he is so popular with everyone, including children." Next point. Point number 5. Control of weeds. Just as weeds affect the growth of a plant, relationships are affected by the greed for money, power, and position. Ours has become ours has become a highly consumerist society. Suicides have increased recently even in India, but still it is 9 per 1 lakh in India compared to 45 in US and 60 in Russia. Mental disorders and divorces are on the increase even in India. Affluence in USA has resulted in breakup of relationships. This has led to many children growing with a single parent and they yearn for love. In India too, without formal divorce, there are many strained couples staying together but with hardly any relationship between them. Removal of weeds of greed requires sacrifice on the part of both the parties and judicious sharing of property and possession. Sixth, pest control. As worms as worms eat up the plants, likewise jealousy, anger, etc. affect relationships. Just as pest control is necessary to keep out the worm, so also prayer, holy association, etc. are necessary for cleansing the heart. Many young boys who love someone find it unbearable to see their girlfriends being friendly with anyone else out of sheer jealousy. Here, I remember an incident. One day, when I was in my ashram office, a young boy suddenly came in a very agitated state and gave me a knife which he wanted to surrender to me. On my questioning, he confessed that he was deeply in love with a girl for whom he would have done anything. Then, one day he saw this girl moving on the pillion of a scooter with his best friend. He just could not tolerate this. He was upset and angry and wanted to kill both of them. With this intention, he took a knife from his house and was on his way. En route, he came to the ashram of Ramakrishna mission, and some inner voice told him to go inside. He went to the temple, and in a few minutes, he calmed down and returned home, giving up the idea of killing. During the next few days, again he got into the revengeful mood and was again calmed down with his visit to Rajkot Ashram temple. When the same urge came for the fourth time, he came to me and surrendered the knife, saying that the holy vibrations of the temple had calmed down his mind. Seventh is water. Seventh point is about water. Just as water is most essential for the growth of a plant, relationship also requires water for nurturing. This water is called love. Deepak Chopra says that parenting consists only of love and more love. Stephen Covey, in his book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and Eric Fromm, in his book Art of Loving, also stress the importance of love in nurturing relationships. When I was in Porbandar, I found that despite regular watering, the plants would perish as the water there was salty. Therefore, for the growth of a plant, just as sweet water is essential, so also for nurturing a healthy relationship, the love has to be unselfish. Selfish love, like salty water, will ruin a relationship. Love is divine, but when it is mixed with selfishness, it becomes attachment or infatuation, resulting in failure in relationship. Without sacrifice or renunciation, love will not grow. Service and sacrifice always go hand in hand. Relationship will grow to the extent one can sacrifice, as love grows directly in proportion to the sacrifice. Tips for long lasting relationships. I'm giving a few tips for having long lasting relationships in alphabetical order so that it becomes easy to remember them. A. Assess, accept, and adjust. One should assess the other person, know his or her positive and negative traits, and accept him or her as he or she is. There has to be a certain give and take in any relationship, and one has to adjust oneself accordingly, as adjustment is the law of nature. The golden rule is, in matters of opinion, swim swiftly with the current, and in matters of principles, stand firm like a rock. This invaluable tip was given by Swami Turiyananda, a brother disciple of Swami Vivekananda, at Shanti Ashram in USA to an inmate, and it clicked. It has clicked in many cases. In most relationships, it will be found that in 90% of the time, the conflict is due to difference in opinion, and only in 10% of the time, it is due to principles. So, if you adjust 90% of the time with others on opinion, they will adjust 10% of the time with your principles, and the relationship remains smooth. This is true in any type of relationship, parents and children, husband and wife, relatives, friends, discipline, disciples, living as a community in the ashrams, etc. I can cite many success stories. Once, a lady executive of a company came to me for counseling. She was practicing yoga and meditation for some time. In order to devote her full time for her, in order to devote her full time for her spiritual activities, she resigned from her job. Her parents were already angry because she was not consenting to marry. This added fuel to the fire and created great rift and tension in the house, shattering her peace of mind, and therefore she had approached me. When I asked her how much time she had been devoting for her spiritual pursuit before her resignation from the company, she said it was 4 hours. But now it was zero, as the atmosphere was always tense. When I said she could increase it to 8 hours if she followed my advice, she readily agreed. Then I told her the above golden rule and advised her that if her mother wanted her to work in the kitchen or give her company while watching her favorite TV shows, or if her father wanted her to accompany him to the market, she should readily agree. But regarding her decision not to marry and to pursue her spiritual activity, she should not bow down to her parents' idea. Afterwards, she told me that by following my advice, hmm, uh, by following afterwards, she told me that by following my advice, her parents were extremely happy seeing their daughter's new attitude, and she was also equally happy because she could pursue her spiritual activities in a peaceful environment. Next, B. B for behavior. All of us are familiar with the three monkeys of Mahatma Gandhi, who represent see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. When one Swamiji from Ramakrishna Mission went to Switzerland, in one city near a lake, he came across a sculpture of three monkeys of a strange kind. The first monkey had one eye open, the other closed. The second had one ear open and the other closed. And the third had half mouth open and the other half closed. Oh my God. On contemplating on the significance of these monkeys, he remembered a Sanskrit sloka from the Vedas, which means see good things, don't see bad things. Hear good things, don't hear bad things. Speak good things, don't speak bad things, etc. And realize the wisdom behind the above sculpture. Saying bad things or criticizing others, particularly behind their back, is the sure road to ruining any relationship. Being too frank while speaking also results in criticism. Our scriptures say, speak the truth, but speak it politely. Don't speak bitter truth. Here I would like to narrate the episode of an astrologer who visited a person. On reading his palm, the astrologer told him that all his relatives would die before him. Hearing this, the man got very angry and okay, so Uh, hearing this, man got very angry and drove away the astrologer without giving him any fee. The astrologer was dejected and went to his guru and narrated the tale. The guru said both of them would go in disguise to the same man. On arrival, the guru read the palm of the man and said that he was very lucky and would live such a long life that he would outlive all his relatives. This pleased the man, and the astrologers were rewarded by him. Though factually, though factually, the two predictions were the same, the sweet style of telling made all the difference. Okay. This is true in all relationships as well. The best role model in maintenance of relationships is that of the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, consort of Sri Ramakrishna. She maintained excellent relationship with her companions, especially a mad aunt and her half-mad daughter. She had equally good relationship with the notorious Muslim dacoit Amjad and the large number of devotees. Once there was a great famine in Calcutta and people were in great misery. Donations were not forthcoming then, and Swami Vivekananda was greatly moved by the misery, suffering, and hardships that he saw everywhere. So, he proposed selling of Belur land to raise money for the famine relief. The brother disciples were stunned with this proposal as it had taken many years of hard work for getting the land for the mutt. But dare not getting the land, what? But dare not oppose Swami Vivekananda for fear of his anger. They then went to Sri Sharada Devi as they knew that Swami Vivekananda would implicitly obey her. On hearing the proposal from the devotees, she called Swami Vivekananda, who said, "We will sell the land to raise money for famine relief, as I cannot see the sufferings and hardships of people all around. As monks, we can sit under the trees and meditate." To this, the mother said, "It is fine for you to do meditation under trees, but think of the many sons of mine who will come here in the future. Do they not need a place to stay where they can eat, pray, meditate, and sleep? The land and the mud If the land and mud are gone, how can the future of relief work will be carried out?" Though the mother had no formal education, she had infinite practical wisdom. She asked Swami Vivekananda whether he had consulted the trustees of the mutt for selling the land. When Swami Vivekananda answered in the negative, she said, "Well, I have consulted them and they do not agree to the selling of land." Swami Vivekananda had to quietly retreat and the situation was saved. The famous teaching of the Holy Mother was, "If you want peace of mind, don't look at the fault of others. If you want to see faults, see your own fault." In this world, no one is perfect. Everyone has positive and negative points, of course, in varying degrees. There is none with only positive qualities and none with only negative qualities. Even in the case of the famous Bengali novelist, dramatist, and poet of the time, Girish Chandra Ghosh, who was known for his drinking and all possible vices, when he came to Sri Ramakrishna saw only his positive side. He said, Girish is to Girish is to be praised for his faith in God as he has come here. The poet was so moved by this statement and the kind behavior extended to him by Sri Ramakrishna that he gave up all his vices and converted himself into a saint. Such is the power of transformation if you see only the positive side of everyone. Next, next point, which is the C point, it is called as communication, concentration, and care. Proper communication is vital to maintain any relationship. Lack of communication or miscommunication can result in misunderstanding and breakup of relationship. The more the communication, the better the relationship. Similarly, concentration and care also play an important role in keeping the relationship healthy. The weekly meetings of family members, in which they are given freedom to express their resentments towards each other, can go a long way in bridging the communication gap in the family members. Caring for others does not mean merely caring for others' comforts, but also means caring for others' opinions. D. Discipline. D for discipline, dedication, and devotion. Maintaining proper discipline, dedication, and devotion are essential for nurturing good relationships. Next, E. E is emotional maturity. Proper IQ and EQ are important factors in maintaining lasting relationships. Self-awareness, impulse control, empathy, zeal, and motivation constitute important components of EQ. One requires emotional maturity to foster a relationship. Correct. Next. Next point is forbearance, forgetting, and forgiving. An excellent example of forbearance is the case of the Japanese Prime Minister Osun, whose extended family consisted of 200 members, all of whom lived together in perfect harmony and happiness. It was said that even the pet dogs of the family would not fight with each other. The Emperor of Japan was eager to know the secret of this and called the Prime Minister. He requested the old Prime Minister to give 100 success mantras so that he could circulate the same to his subjects for maintaining harmony in their families. With shaking fingers, the old man wrote on a paper, "Forbear, forbear," 100 times and handed over the paper to the emperor. Forbearance or tolerance is of paramount importance to live harmoniously in a family, community, or society. One who can tolerate will survive, one who cannot will perish. One who can tolerate will survive, one who cannot will perish. Similarly, forgetting the unpleasant past and letting go or forgiving will allow the relationship to grow. The more you forgive, the better will be the relationship. Everlasting relationship. All of us yearn for fulfillment in life. Sant Kabir's famous couplet gives the measure of success of a human being. Thus, when you were born, the world was laughing and you were crying. Live your life such that when you die, you are laughing and the world is crying. Leading a virtuous life, doing good deeds, not hurting or injuring anyone, and being of service to others will make your life so joyous that you will be happy while departing from this world, while others around you would be crying over the departure of such a noble person. That is the ultimate fulfillment, or in business terms, profit and loss account of your life. No amount of money can bring genuine love or relationship. Invest your time in relationship with genuine love and affection. Every human being wants infinite love, joy, happiness, peace, as humans are born for this. But why do you want to love? Someone may ask. Eric Fromm has beautifully described it. It is nothing but the psychology of union. Whenever two persons want to love each other, they want to come together because they want to unite together. Basically, it is the search for unity. Two bubbles cannot have a lasting reality, however they may try. One day they will burst. They can have an infinite relationship only if they unite with the ocean. Swami Vivekananda, in his lecture Religion of Love, says there cannot be infinite love between two finite objects trying to love each other. That is to say that there cannot be an unchanging love between two changing phenomena. Infinite love can only be between an Atman, infinite Atman or individual soul which is there within every one of us and the finite Paramatman or universal soul which is the infinite divine reality or the supreme divine consciousness. It is called Satyam Shivam Sundaram, the ultimate truth, the ultimate love or good, the ultimate beauty. Satya means the ultimate truth, Shivam means the ultimate love or good, and Sundaram means the ultimate beauty. Love or relationship with other fellow beings will end with the death of one or the other. But the love or relationship of the individual soul with the universal soul can never end. It is an everlasting, eternal relationship. If we identify ourselves with that infinite reality, that love cannot die. This can only happen with development of SQ. SQ means spiritual quotient. Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature internally and externally. For this, one has to follow the four paths of yoga. They are karma, jnana, bhakti, and raja. In karma yoga, the path is through selfless action and service. In Jnana Yoga, the path is by reading of scriptures and good books and contemplation with positive thoughts. In Bhakti Yoga, love and devotion to God, prayer, and japam are the methods chosen. And in Raja Yoga, it is mental mastery as laid down in Ashtanga Yoga of sage Patanjali. The more we practice the four yogas, the more divine we will become. Modern quantum mechanics has proved that ours is a holistic universe. If we cheat or exploit others, we will not get peace of mind. That is the law of karma. Once we become one with the infinite relationship and infinite love are achieved. If we see God within ourselves and see the same God in all others, then we will be able to dedicate ourselves fully for caring for others and sharing everything with others. Let us breathe in contemplation. Let us breathe in contemplation and breathe out service. Let us become one with the infinity, love, joy, peace, bliss, which is the culmination of relationship. There is then no suffering, no misery, no pain. Therefore, let us convert all relationships into divine relationships. Mother, father, teacher, guest are all representations of the divine. Attachment brings joy, but it is also the source of all miseries. What is the source of all miseries? Attachment. One should have as much power of attachment as that of detachment, which is possible only with the development of SQ, spiritual quotient. I will conclude with Swami Vivekananda's favorite poem written by the last Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, a great Sufi poet who saw God in everything. He wrote, the names of God, forms, and paths chosen by people of various religions and beliefs may be different, but they all lead to the same goal. Sri Ramakrishna practiced all religions in turn and said the same thing. It is the same universal message in all religions. Unconditional love and converting all human relationships into divine relationships results in supreme and universal happiness, harmony, joy, peace, and bliss. Now, there are a few quotations here. So, few quotations. Uh, these quotations are told by Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. My child, if you want peace, then do not look into anybody's faults. Look into your own faults. Learn to make the world your own. No one is a stranger. My child, the whole world is your own. Next. If you love a human being, you will have to suffer for it. He is blessed indeed who can love God alone. There is no suffering in loving God. Next. I am the mother of the virtuous, I am the mother of the wicked. Whenever you are in distress, say to yourself, I have a mother. Now, something about true love. No one in this world can really love anything but God. Man finds out that human love is all hollow. Men cannot love though they talk of it. The wife says she loves her husband and kisses him. But as soon as he dies, the first thing she thinks about is the bank account and what she shall do the next day. This is not right. The husband loves the wife, but when she becomes haggard or makes a mistake, he ceases to care for her. All the love of the world is hypocrisy and hollowness. A finite subject cannot love, nor a finite object be loved. When the object of the love of a man is dying every moment and his mind also is constantly changing as he grows, what eternal love can you expect to find in the world? There cannot be any real love but in God, God or nature, whatever you may call it. When, why then all these loves? These are mere stages. There is a power behind, there's a power behind impelling us forward. We do not know where to seek for the real object, but this love is sending us forward in search of it. Again and again, we find out our mistake. We grasp something and find it slips through our fingers, and then we grasp something else. Thus, on and on we go till at last comes light. We come to God, the only one who loves. His love knows no change and is ever ready to take us in. How long would any of you bear with me if I injured you? He in whose mind is no anger, hatred, or envy, who never loses his balance, dies, or is born, who is he but God? This last extract was written by Swami Vivekananda. Thank you. Namaste.